race. Go to NASCAR.com/chase promo now and enter for a chance to win a new Chevy, Ford, or Toyota. Riding along with Denny Hamlin on his Toyota, you might not want to get this one.
Denny Hamlin is not having the practice I think he's over. He's not bad. He's 8th on the time chart, but we talk about how difficult this track is. Well, watch right here coming out of turn 1, Jeff.
And he quits.
When you're leaving turn 1, you have to accelerate exceptionally early, and you can see he just got loose and almost ran out of racetrack. But turns 1 and 2 are completely different than 3 and 4. When you get to the bottom of the racetrack in 1 and 2, if you roll just a little bit, you need to be going back to that throttle quickly, and it requires so much commitment that if your car is too loose, it turns around on you very, very quickly. If it's tight, you tend to, it's much easier if it's tight, although it's slower. But, you can see right there, he just had to commit to the throttle, and just the back of the car did not stick.
Mike.
Checking in with the 48 team now, Rick, as well. As you'll recall, after Jimmy won in Charlotte to advance to the round of 8, he was quoted as saying, hey, look, just because we've advanced, I want to continue to keep the pressure on my team. So you would imagine, even though he's clinched a championship for berth, he's doing the same. And you can tell that that is the case inside this garage. They're not taking anything lightly. Wholesale changes the last time in here. Significant changes while they were up on scales. Almost changing the entire setup, it would seem. Jimmy had been saying that the car was getting loose real easily. So obviously they're trying to give him a little bit more stability. But this team not taking anything for granted and working extremely hard down here in the garage, Marty.
Mike, Kurt Busch is 20th fastest, the slowest of the chasers so far. Nobody's won more laps in this practice than the 41 team. And they had an interesting situation yesterday in practice. They made 3 race runs yesterday before they switched over to qualifying trim. They found in that 3rd race run, they had a left rear that was going slowly flat. They don't know when it started. They don't know if it was in the middle of the 2nd run or the 3rd run. So they kind of didn't know where to start practice today. They kind of set it up like they had it in the 2nd run yesterday. Kurt went out and said the car was a little too tight entering, a little too loose off the corner. And he said, it seems like we're going the wrong direction. So they're going to guess what they had yesterday on the 3rd setup. And so that's what Tony Gibson's dealing with today. Steve, you've been in this situation before where you've had a set of tires that maybe had a flat tire on it and you didn't know when it started. So you kind of have a guessing game, don't you, where you need to be setup-wise, and that's really what the 41 feeling with today.
Yeah, it turns into a guessing game. Be thankful it was today, because the worst time is in the middle of the race when you have a car that's really tight or really loose and you make big adjustments and you take a tire off and it's going flat. And then which is it? And you end up burning a run or 2. And we've already talked about the length of this race. It can get away from you very quickly. So while that's frustrating for this 41 and the crew chief Tony Gibson, Friday is the best day to have it.
So once again, as far as lap averages, 5-lap averages, Mark Truex Jr. has the best 5-lap and best 10-lap average right now.